The Chicago Bears are 1-1 through the first 2 weeks of the NFL season. So let's now move on and talk about week 3. What is going on, y'all? Fox Sports All back at it with another video talking, of course, some NFL like I mentioned. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. Welcome to the FSD community. Make sure to go ahead and subscribe by hitting the big red subscribe button down below, folks. Go ahead and do so right now. And while you're at it, turn on the bell icon to be notified every time I post a new video, because I do so every single week. And I keep it locked right here for you guys, a preview video, especially for the Bears, and a post-game recap video every single week, not to mention my weekly picks video as well. So like I said, there's a lot of content you don't want to miss out. Go ahead and subscribe. And while you're at it, if you guys want to talk to me, reach out. You guys know I respond and love talking to you guys. Hit me up on my social media links down below and on the screen as well for that. So here to give you guys my game preview for the Bears. They're playing the Washington Redskins this week. Going to be getting into everything, the line, the over-under, my analysis of what the keys are for the Bears to win this game, and everything else in between. So I'm not going to make you wait any longer. Not going to do it, all right? Let's get started. So there is a lot to get to, so I'll start by saying this. Let's quickly recap week 2. I'm not going to give a full recap, absolutely not. You guys can go check out my full recap video for my full thoughts in my recent videos for our game against the Broncos. But I basically predicted that game 17-7, ended up being 16-14, still very low scoring. I'll give a game preview, of course, and my final score recap and my score prediction for the Redskins game this week, week 3. But that game coming out, we're now 1-1. And a lot of Bears fans want to feel optimistic. And for the most part, I do, because we could easily be 0-2. But at the same time, I'm grateful. Okay, the right word here is grateful, because, again, a little bit of a fluky win for us in terms of, us winning at the very end. Don't get me wrong. It was a clutch throw by Mitch and to Allen Robinson, and then setting up the field goal, and then Eddie Pinheiro hitting the game-winning field goal. I love that, okay? And a lot of the times we were unlucky, like in the playoff game last year with the Eagles. We all know what happened, okay? But point being is, we could easily be 0-2 right now. But hey, you can make the argument we could be 2-0. We're 1-1. It's still very early. That's basically the point. Let's now talk about week 3 against the Redskins. And the Bears are favored in this game. This is a Monday night game, folks. This is going to be on national TV. And boy, do I have a lot to say about that, but I will save that a little bit later, okay? So Bears are favored by 4.5. The over-under is 41.5, which is not that much, and that makes sense because the Bears offense has been very poor to start the season. Again, I'll get into that in a second here. The Bears, of course, like I mentioned, are 1-1. The Redskins are 0-2, okay? They have lost both games to division rivals. Game 1 against Philly at Philly, they lost 32-37. And then game 2 in Washington at home, they lost 31-21 to the Dallas Cowboys. So the Redskins are 0-2, but they are a competitive 0-2, okay? Unlike the Dolphins and the Jets, who have been complete doormats through the first 2 weeks of the NFL season, the Redskins have actually put up a fight here, okay? And the roster isn't very inspiring, folks. We've got journeyman quarterback Case Keenum starting. You've got, 87-year-old Adrian Peterson now, the starting running back after Darius Guice got hurt. Jordan Reed, their starting tight end, hasn't played yet. He still got a concussion, and he hasn't played yet. So a very, untalented group that most people expected, again, going into this season to maybe have a 3-4 win season, and that's obviously still probably going to be the case, but they are making games competitive. And that is actually what you can ask for from a bad team, right? You don't want the team to just, if you are a bad team, you don't want to just roll over. You still want to make it tough. So they're fighting. That's what I'm trying to say. The Redskins are putting up fights. And look, they actually made it a game, certainly in week 1 against Philly, and then Dallas. It looked like that for a second here. So basically, we cannot take the Redskins lightly at all. This is not the Dolphins or the Jets, okay? This is not a team that has completely folded over. They are a tough opponent in terms of, obviously them playing up to the standards that they feel like they need to play to. So that's the one thing, okay? The other thing, this is in Washington, so it is a road game for the Chicago Bears. Now, the Bears are coming off a road victory against the Denver Broncos in Denver, of course. But again, road games are obviously much more difficult than home games, right? So you take that into account. So a Washington team that's scrappy. This game is on the road, and then it's on prime time, okay? And here's the thing. It's on prime time, and we all know the Bears don't tend to play their best football on prime time, most notably their quarterback, Mitchell Trubisky, who obviously has had a horrendous start to the year, folks. I don't want to sugarcoat it. I really don't. I've went in on Mitch and his performance or lack thereof, and you guys can check it out in my recent videos. He just hasn't played well. That's the simple and bottom line, okay? And on primetime games, case in point, the Green Bay Packers opening night, Mitch has not played well. So that is going to be another thing to watch here with the Bears on primetime. Mitchell Trubisky, with all the eyes on him, being able to perform. So again, I get it. The Bears are favored. They are still the better team here, folks. So that makes sense. But you cannot take this Washington team lightly. So the Bears have to come in and not take anything for granted. So now let's move on to the keys for the Chicago Bears in this game. And let's start with key number 1. So key number 1 for the Chicago Bears, get off to a hot start offensively. And you guys might be like, duh, Fies, wouldn't you want that against every team? No. I told you, if the Bears are playing the Dolphins or the Jets or teams that are absolute, jokes and doormats like those teams have been, then I'm not worried. But again, against a team like Washington, they got off to a hot start against Philadelphia, and Carson Wentz had to pull them back out of that game. And they also made it very competitive against Dallas, okay? And Dak Prescott didn't have a good start in that game, and later he came through for them. Both those teams offensively are playing much better than the Bears right now. So what does that mean? The Bears cannot afford to put themselves in the same position and dig out of a slow start, say at halftime or in the second half. That means I need a hot start offensively. I'm talking to Matt Nagy and Mitchell Trubisky here. The offense needs to go. Folks, the Bears got to have a combined 19 points through 2 games. I think we're averaging 11 points per game dating back to the playoff game from last year through the first 2 weeks of this season. That's anemic. That's pathetic. It's unacceptable. The offense needs to get going. Now, Matt Nagy's play calling was atrocious in Game 1. It got better in Game 2, but it can still improve in Game 3. I need the Bears offense to absolutely get off to a hot start in this game and put the pressure on Washington. So obviously get Mitch some early confidence by giving him some good throws, giving him the right reads. Obviously, I'm not saying every pass needs to be a screen pass so that Mitchell Trubisky gains the confidence, but you absolutely need to be aggressive here. And that doesn't even mean Mitch throwing. Again, could be running the football as well. But the Bears need to get off to a hot start offensively. They need to. Matt Nagy needs to make it happen. He just does. Key number 2 for the Chicago Bears. Put some damn pressure on Case Keenum, folks, because he is balling right now. I mean, 56 for 81 for 601 yards, 5 touchdowns, no picks, 111.2 passer rating, okay? He absolutely shredded the Eagles secondary, and he torched the Cowboys there as well. So Case Keenum has been hot, and we've seen this guy do some things in the NFL. Everyone knows he's a journeyman quarterback, a backup quarterback really in this league. But he did go to the NFC Championship game with the Vikings. You guys remember that when the Minnesota Miracle happened? So Case Keenum can play football. He can play, folks. So the Bears need to put some pressure on Case Keenum. I need the defensive line to really make Case Keenum uncomfortable, because this is a guy who's not a mobile quarterback. He's got, no mobility at all. So if you get him in the pocket or get him moving out, obviously you can absolutely, get a lick on him if you want. And that is what the Bears need to do. Just make the pressure feel that it's there for Case Keenum, make him uncomfortable in the pocket and just uncomfortable overall. Okay, so Case Keenum can't put up these numbers against the Bears. He shouldn't be putting up these numbers, period. I mean, I wish Mitchell Trubisky had these numbers for the first 2 games, okay? Case Keenum's been very good. He's actually my backup quarterback in one of my fantasy leagues. And honestly, I'm very happy with Case Keenum right now. So, again, the Cowboys and the Eagles defense, does not compare to the Bears defense. We are a top 2, arguably top 1 best defense in the NFL. So I have faith that we can do it. But so far, Case Keenum has been lighting. The NFL defense is on fire. Put some pressure on Case Keenum. I need the pass rush and the D-line to show up and show out. Khalil Mack, Leonard Floyd, Roquan Smith, Akeem Hicks. I need all these boys to just get in his face and put that pressure. And finally, let's move on to key number 3 for the Chicago Bears: run the football. And I specifically highlighted David Montgomery for the reason because he's got the Bears' lone touchdown this entire season, which is, of course, the rushing touchdown he had against the Denver Broncos. And let's build off the positive, right? Before the Broncos game, I said the Bears need to run the football. No way in hell do I want Mitchell Trubisky to throw the ball 45 times in a game. I need more balance. Matt Nagy, to his credit, listened and gave David Montgomery about, more than like 15, 18 carries in that game. Didn't really have a great yardage, I think 62 yards, but he did have the touchdown, and he made the offense a little easier. And that is the key here. And you can run on this Washington team, folks. They gave up 123 rush yards to the Eagles, 213 rush yards to the Cowboys. Zeke went all nuts against them, like 111 rush yards. Now, again, David Montgomery ain't Zeke, but he sure is talented. So I need the Bears to run the football against the Redskins and use the run game as your avenue to open up the entire offense. The run game opens up play action. The run game opens up, screens and bootlegs. It is a best friend for a quarterback. That's what they say, right? A run game is a quarterback's best friend. You need to run the football, especially for the quarterback in Mitchell Trubisky, who's struggling right now. So let's build off of it. I need 15 plus carries for David Montgomery, minimum. Minimum, Matt Nagy, 15 carries for David Montgomery. You can mix in Mike Davis here and there if you want. Tariq Cohen as well. But I need 15 carries for David Montgomery, perhaps more, maybe 20. So there you have, folks, my 3 keys for the Chicago Bears in this game against the Washington Redskins. Now, they should win this game. They are the better team, but they're on the road, like I mentioned, and this is on national TV, which is scaring the heck out of me, folks. Mitchell Trubisky does not play well on national TV. And just for once, I need him to just ball out, folks. I'm just praying. I'm praying for like a 3-touchdown, no interception game. Now, I will say this is the worst defense we've played so far. Green Bay's defense has improved, and Denver's defense is no joke. So Mitchell Trubisky will have his first sort of easy defense to face here because, of course, Carson Wentz had a good game, and so did Dak Prescott against this team. So I'm hoping for a better game for Mitchell Trubisky. He just has to have a better game. He has to, okay? He can't do worse. But it's really going to help if he has a good game on prime time, okay? Now, again, at the end of the day, all I care about is the Bears dub. You need the W, but again, it would be nice if we got some progression from Mitch. So there you have it. My final score for this game is 21-17. Yes, the Bears finally scored 20-plus points, and I didn't even want to go too extra here or aggressive here because, again, this offense still needs a lot of work. But I'm willing to go with 21 just because, again, it's the easiest defense we've played so far. We've had a tough defensive schedule. And so hopefully things ease up a little bit. So I definitely think we get in the end zone a couple of times. So that is my final score for the Bears versus the Redskins. So let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below if you agree with me or disagree with me. As always, thanks for watching.